What's up, everybody? It's AGX Comics here, back with another video, long-awaited video. I know I've been putting out that much content in the last 2 weeks. I had some personal matters come up, but obviously I did a read and review, and I kind of talked about that I'm going to be doing read and reviews a little bit differently going forward, where I'm just going to kind of review it, generalize it, and, talk about it. So, this is a haul video. I haven't did one of these in a minute, and I know I haven't, there's been a lot of books that have came out in the last 2 weeks that I could cover. Of course, I've gotten Transformers, this, that, and the third. However, though, I'm just gonna kind of I'm just gonna show the books that I picked up for this week, and that's it. Just because there's so many books that if I did it, it would be like a 40-minute video. I feel like if I talked about each one of them. So let's start it off, right? First one I picked up, Creepshow number 2. Yeah, with this one, right, I mean, the first one started off with, it's weird. I have not read Volume 1, so this is Volume 2, Issue 2. I like the individual story formatting. I love that. It's always cool. I like little horror stories within it. It's a cool concept. Some of them really hit, some of them really miss. The first book was just kind of out there, ridiculously out there with the first story. With the guy and the giving birth and all that stuff. And then I'm trying to remember the other two. I think the one was I forgot the last one, but I know it ended up with a suicide. It was a really, really weird thing. So I'm gonna give it another chance because I want to see more horror elements. So it was more kind of shocking than it was creepy, in a sense. So I'm looking for more of a horror sense, and hopefully this issue would deliver. So that's why I picked this one up in particular. Next up, another number 2. I'm giving it another chance, which, by the way, this holder is not the best. This one, I'll back it up here. This one is Hunt for the Skinwalker, number 2. The art in this one is kind of I don't know if I like it too much with the art. However, I like the story. I know a lot of people said oh, it's kind of slow, boring, but I know it's coming off of a book, an actual novel, right? And I kind of like the pacing a little bit. I'm it's interesting. The only thing I don't here, I'll show maybe a few pages here, is I'm not a huge fan of that artwork, I don't know, it's just kind of weird to me, but giving it another chance. Obviously this takes place on the Skinwalker Ranch, and all the aliens and stuff like that are going to come into play, and they already started. The story I thought was good in the first one. We'll see where it goes in number 2. So next up we have a book that I'm kind of on the fritz about. Something Epic number 6. Now, it's really hard for me to talk about this one because I currently need to read number 5. I know that they left off on the main character. I forgot his name. I want to say it's Henry, but I don't think it's Henry. Doing a video game style level. He's got to pass 3 phases. They're in that imaginary world. So we'll see. I'm hoping that this book, number 5 and number 6, are pretty good, because if these two are not, I'm probably gonna end up dropping this series, not because the artwork is fantastic. The story is just way too slow. It just needs to pick up with some kind of plot. I mean, I get that there's the plot of the Image universe being in there, but it's come on. So number 2 is Batman and Robin, number 2. Kind of said that weird. So I'm still kind of confused with this. So we're gonna get a new character, a new villain, right? I think it's was it Hush or something I forgot what the character's name is. The first one was really good. I thought it was a cool story with him or with Batman and Damian. Thought it was kind of cool. However, though, it's I think you got to take into account that this happens outside of what's currently going on in Detective Comics and Batman's solo title and everything with the Gotham War. This is a separate story, I guess, somewhere in the universe. That's the way I'm treating it. Kind of like the how the Penguin's been panning out, where it's it's kind of telling a separate story, I feel along with all the Dawn of DC stuff, which kind of I'm gonna make a video in the future talking about because where's Dawn of DC at right now? That's where it gets confusing. It's I'm cool with other stories being out there, but it's also give us something that is more in continuity to where I could oh, this story is just a one-off story, whatever, which I think it is. But it's just like it'd be better if it was like clearly stated, I guess, on DC's part. But don't even get me started about Marvel with it. But next up, we have Green Lantern number 4. This series has been absolutely cool. We had Sinestro lurking around in issue 3 after Night Terrors, and now I'm guessing we're getting the Flash, so it's going to be pretty interesting. And yes, I did like the Flash number 1. I really did. I liked that book a lot. That came out, I think, last week. But number 4, had to pick it up. Really digging that series. Next up, we have number 1 here, which is Wesley Dodds' The Sandman. Figured I'd give it a shot, honestly. I think if the marketing from Night Terrors with Sandman's involvement kind of gave me a look into the character, that I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Because honestly, leading up to that point, I didn't know too much about the Sandman. So, figured, why the hell not? Give it a shot, right? Can't be hurt. Actually, there's a lot of books in here. Next up, we got Blade number 4. I just got done reading Blade number 3. It's really good. I think the series is definitely picking up. I'm liking it. We have Doctor Strange coming into the fold at the end of number 3. Spoilers. So, number 4 is going to kind of pick back up. Blade has obviously been hired to protect this one girl. As they're leading on, they see that there is more to it than just that. With the parental advisory, that's something. That'll be something. Next up, we have ASM number 35. Just got done with number 34. Go check my channel to look at the review of ASM 34. We do the review on this channel of every Amazing Spider-Man book. Sorry about that. My phone's going off in the background. So far we're involved in the Kraven storyline where, you know, Peter's been hit with the Goblin serum. It looks like the Green Goblin is going to be coming back as the Green Goblin. He's gonna purposely make himself evil to defeat Peter. That's what I'm pretty sure is gonna happen, or the storyline leaning into it. But nonetheless, this is a pretty cool book. Not this one in particular yet. I haven't read it, but the series is definitely getting a lot better. So congrats, Zeb Wells, on getting out of that stupid Miss Marvel BS storyline. Okay, so next up we got number 6 for the Avengers. And let me tell you, at first I was like, I don't know how I feel about the Avengers and like this whole story from these last 5 issues. But let me tell you, I think that the group of villains that they're facing, right, are, again, I forget, like, their names are, like, weird, but let me tell you, I think that they are drawn really cool, and that's honestly why I'm sticking with it. It's not so much that the story is, like, compelling, but, like, I just like the villains. Like, the villains look so cool in it. That's why I'm like, oh, you know, every time I look at their artwork. So here, let me just open up to a random one here. Like, this guy, I forget what his name is. Oh, yeah, Lord Inu. Like, that look is just so cool. Like, I'm digging all of their looks, man. Like, they're definitely cool. But that's why I picked it up. So, now probably why you clicked onto this video. I actually got my first Slab. So, let me get this into view here. It's a 7.0. I got it. I've never had a Slab before, so I seen a collection come through of Marvel's Iron Man's Slabs. This is number 80. This is a key issue, and it's not stated up there, but the reason why it's a key issue is it is the origin story of the Black Llama. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I'm not too sure. I haven't read this book. The reason why I picked it up was, I was like, for the price that they were selling it, I was like, why not? I've always wanted to have a Slab, so I thought it was pretty cool to pick this one up, and that's why I did. I am planning on picking up more Slabs, you know, in the future, so, you know, stay tuned for all that stuff. But I really like this cover. I mean, this cover is amazing. This is a Kirby cover, too, and I was like, hell, I couldn't pass this book up. I loved it. I got this book for $35, I want to say. So, there you have it. There was that. And then also, something that I thought was cool that I'm going to be I'm going back because, like I've said before, I'm going back, if this book will even sit on here, I'm going back and rereading, or not rereading, I'm going back and reading older stories and kind of want to, like, talk about them on the channel and, like, compare and contrast to today's, you know, stories. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I picked up Swamp Thing because I don't know too much about Swamp Thing, but I've heard so many good things about Alan Moore's run with Swamp Thing. I believe it's in the 20s by comic book number. And yeah, so I'm going to kind of read this, kind of get some insights, and think of some videos while I read this. And I know that there's a ton of other books, but I'm looking forward to it. So if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe for more videos. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Sorry about the content being so slow coming out. It's just been really busy on my part. So expect more content to come, that's for sure. And always, thank you guys for watching.